Assalamualaikum everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another tutorial video. Just a couple of days ago I posted a community update and one of my awesome subscribers requested a full tutorial video on the topic. So here it is. In this video I'll guide you through a step-by-step process of blending images seamlessly, creating shadows and highlights to add depth and dimension, and in the end I'll share some tips on how you can make your manipulation more dramatic and dreamy. Let's create. So I'm taking this artboard with 2000 by 2000 pixels and 300 ppi. I'm going to add a background color. So I'll choose a color from here. Now I'm going to add a circle. I'll choose this color. Okay. And place it right over here. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate it. Ctrl J to duplicate. Increase the stroke size just around here. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to convert it to smart object. Again, duplicate the layer. Press Ctrl J to duplicate. So I'll create multiple circles. I'm going to group it and name it. To make it more organized, make sure to group it all the layers. I'll adjust. I'm going to delete these two. Now I'll merge all of the layers into one single layer. Now go to filter, blur, and I'm going to add a noise effect. So as you can see, there'll be a good texture. It'll look good. I'm going to zoom right over here. Okay, as you can see, there's a little pixelated texture, so that is too much. I'm going to decrease. Okay, right over here. Okay, that will be good. 5 is good. I'll decrease the opacity a little bit. 70 would be good. Now I'll combine these two layers again. I'll share all of the files in the description. So now go to select and press subject. It will automatically select the subject, and as you can see, there is some problems. I'm going to fix it. Make sure to select the selection tool. Take your time and refine it. You can do this also with the pen tool. For the tutorial, I'm using the selection tool. Now press mask. As you can see, we have a transparent background. Now I'm going to take this image to our main project. And I'll adjust it. Okay. Now double click on it and I'll add a drop shadow. As you can see, there is a good drop shadow. Now I'll choose a levels and adjustment layer. I'm going to adjust the highlights and shadows to make it more realistic. Okay, that will be good. Now press Ctrl B for the brush tool and reduce the flow, and I'll remove it from certain areas. I'll keep the dark area darker and the bright area brighter. You can all group it. So now I'm going to mask some chips. Again, take the selection tool, press Ctrl J to duplicate. Same way, I will choose some chips from here. And I'll group all of the chips. So there you go, I put all the chips. I'll add some shadows to it, one by one. Okay, so here is some cherry flower or cherry branch, you can say. I don't know the exactly. Cherry blossom trees, I guess. So I'll adjust it. I'll put it right over here. Okay, now I'll rasterize the image. To delete some part, as you can see, there is some branches coming out. We don't need this. Press B for the brush tool, and I'll remove it from certain areas. Now press Ctrl J to duplicate the layer, or you can press Hold Alt. Let's see how it will look over here. Okay, the same way I'll adjust all of the images. Now I'll group it. I'll merge all the layers. Okay, that's fine. Now go to filter, blur, and I'm adding a Gaussian blur. Not too much, so it will have a depth so that we can make our subject more in the focus area. Now I'll adjust the contrast, and I'll make it a little bit darker so that the main focus will be here to our subject. Okay, this is looking good. Now as you can see, there are some parts. I'll remove it. Remove the unnecessary parts, as you can see. Okay, that will be good. Now I'll add these cherry blossom flowers. Sorry, leaves. Again, I'll adjust the highlights and the shadows, and I'll make it a little bit darker around here. Okay, this is looking good. Now go to filter, blur gallery, blur, and I'll add a radial blur. Okay, for the final touch-up, I'll add a sunlight effect. So take a new layer, choose the white color, and I'll put a subtle stroke over here. Not too much. It is too much. Okay. Okay, now here comes the interesting part. I'll take a new layer and press Ctrl Shift Alt E to merge all the layers. Okay, now I'll add some dreamy glow effect. For this, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'll increase the blur until I don't see the text. Okay, this is looking good. Now I'll increase the highlights and the contrast a little bit. Yeah, okay, this is looking good. I'll put it right over here. Now to make it blended, go to blending option and select soft light. I'll decrease the opacity, and as you can see, it is already looking pretty good. Mask the layer, and I'll remove it from certain areas. I want to keep these areas a little bit darker. Okay, now it's looking good. Now one thing I can do, now I'll decrease this sunlight effect, and I'm going to again go to levels and decrease the brightness a little bit. Okay, now it is looking good. The same way, I'll decrease the brightness a little bit to our background. I'm going to increase the contrast. And I'll decrease the brightness a little bit. Okay, that's looking good. So I hope you learned something new from this, and if so, then subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss any updates. And let me know in the comments your thoughts on this project. Till then, I'll see you in the next video.